Shalom. Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Workar Kadash, and the Heavenly Father. True name is Yahweh, and His unbegotten Son, Bahashem, in the name of Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. Those are the true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, the Lashon's Holy Tongue. And I say, rock them to the elders and apostles, Akbar, and I say, Shalom. And this is a sit-down lesson of prophecy updates as of July 27, 2026 on this Monday morning. And we had, as the tensions been heating up between Russia and Ukraine, it says 5 people unalive in Ukraine drone strike. Russian government has said Kharkiv has stepped up its attacks on civilians while political and military turmoil deepens in Ukraine. This is from July 27, 2026. It says in Ukraine, drone attack unalive 5 people and civilians in this Russian city of Rostov on Don overnight, according to the regional governor Yuri Slobsher, if I pronounce his name right. He said a married couple and a child was among the victims. It says that Kharkiv stepped up its long-range strikes as part of Vladimir Zelensky's 40-day pressure campaign announced more than a month ago. The campaign has included repeated attacks on the e-retailer Wildberries, which Ukrainian officials say to intend to make Russian civilians feel more consequences from the conflict, as well as the strikes on commercial vessels. According to the Slobsher, 2 of the 5 survivors, including a teenager, are in serious condition. He said some 50 Ukrainian kamikaze drones targeting the region, hitting Rostov on Don, the city of Tangrov, and 4 other areas damaged in private business warehouses and some residential buildings. It says Belgrade, 12 civilians, including 2 children, were injured in the Ukrainian attacks overnight. The mayor, Vadim Yemdorf, said the Unimor Republic, meanwhile, was targeting what Governor Nicholas Brexkov described as the largest drone raid in some time. He reported that no casualties, urged the public to remain calm. It says Kharkiv's goal is to instill panic. The Russian Defense Ministry says air defense intercepted 276 Ukrainian long-range drones overnight in several parts of the country, as well as over the Black Sea, the Sea, Astavo. It says over the weekend, Ukrainian drones and targets resort villages in Kirkhelikov, if I pronounce that right. It says in Zaporizhzhia region, about 12 people, including 4 children, and injuring 19 others. Moscow has described the attack as the latest examples of Kyiv deliberating target minors, regional children's rights, and opposition. Osman Gilad Shaklavia asserted to the Ukrainian militaries knew precisely what they were striking and may have time to attack. So the day morning that 4 people, that children have on Donbass in 2014, which was observed in Russia on July 27. The Ukrainian strategy inflicting greater economic damage is being pursued by an increasingly unstable government. It says, which underwent its latest cabinet reshuffle earlier this month. This overhaul included dismissal of Defense Minister Mikhail Fedorov of what Zelensky described as an incorrigible conflict in Armed Forces Command and Air Chief Alexander Skarsky. After 7 days of street protests and negative coverage of the decision in the Western media, Zelensky also dismissed Skarsky, but declined to reinstate Fedorov. It said, free phone call Hawaii. This is the book of Luke 21, verse 25. That's the book of Luke 21, verse 25. It reads, it says, "There shall be signs in the sun, and the moon, and the stars, and upon the earth distress of the nation. Will perplexity cease where it's wrong, brightness be seen." It's the book of Mark, chapter 3, verse 24. "And if the kingdom be divided separately against them, so we see the division between these Edomite nations with the Russian-Ukrainian situation." This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 6. "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, like Russia versus Ukraine. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, see that you be not troubled, for all these things must first come to pass, but it is not yet." Matthew 24, verse 7. "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence, and earthquakes in diverse places." Right, as we see, nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. And we see earthquakes in diverse places, but it's only going to continue to increase, and we're seeing signs of that. It's the book of Ecclesiastes, verse 8. "In times of love, and in time of HATE, any time of war, time of peace, right? So we live in a time of love. We still live in a time of war, and we still live in a time of HATE. Because wars and rumors of war are still heating up, nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom as well, too, as usual. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 46. It says, "Be your heart faint, what heart your mind, be a fit for rumor that should be heard in the land, and a rumor shall come in for 1 year. After that, a delegation shall come in rumor, God's land workers will." Why? So we see mighty ruler against mighty ruler, nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. That's a continue to increase. And this is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 9. It says, "Proclaim this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty man, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up." I think it was another fresh new attack by the Iranian-backed groups over in Iraq, target Saudi Arabia groups. So the tension between the Houthi rebels and the proxy groups going against the Saudi Arabia coalition forces, that's heating up as of late for the past 2.5 weeks. So the tensions are heating back up over there in the Mediterranean Sea. So this will be seeing wars and rumors of wars, and nation against nation, and kingdom against kingdom is heating up on a day-to-day basis. Check out Al Jazeera. And this is Al Jazeera breaking news. Trump says he's ready for strong military action if talks with Iran fail. Right, because they failed previously. I wasn't surprised to fail once again. Because you can have this military action between Iran and the United States been heating up for the past 3.5 months, and then the matter of restricted has been heating up over there as well too. So these are the examples that wars and rumors of wars, nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and they continue to increase. Salak. It says the Iranian-backed group has targeted Saudi Arabia drones and missile strings, squeezing the kingdom from multiple groups and fronts, amending a broader Middle East conflict. The key actors involved in these operations including the Iraqi militants, a pro-Iranian armed group in Iraq launched drones targeting Saudi Arabian infrastructure in the eastern province It says, which Saudi Arabia air defense successfully intercepted. It says the Houthi rebels in Yemen renewed threats and actions against the Saudi Arabia assets, shipping lanes and airspace, and alarming pressure against Wadaya. Regional impact tensions, infrastructure targets, patterns, and recent strikes have aimed to petroleum and oil facilities to disrupt regional energy export. It says diplomatic fallout. Saudi Arabia has formally condemned these acts and aggression, urging respective detained governments such as Iraq to block military launch pads. This is Joel chapter verse 10. Beach of plowshares and swords, and the pony and the spears left with Samstrom. Right, and as we said, for the proxy groups and the pro-Iranian groups and the Houthi rebels going against the Saudi Arabia armies. Tensions are heating up over there in the Mediterranean Sea, over there in the Red Sea, and over there in Yemen as well too. This is Luke 21 and verse 9. It says, and when you share your wars and promotions, be not terrified for these things must first come to pass, but it's not yet. Right, so it's going to come to pass. We're not going to end shit. So these wars and commotion between these armies of our nations, even though it's been on and on back and forth. As Trump says, that if the talks fail once again, same old thing, same old playbook, like that same old hamster wheel. And Trump has said on Al Jazeera, he said if the talks fail between Iran and the United States, he's going to use a powerful military action, which he previously did before. He's going to do it once again if the talks fail, because you had, I think, from the Iranian side, the foreign minister and the negotiators from the Iranian side, the United States side, they said talks were progressing at the moment. As Trump was saying that Al Jazeera, that recent news that I just read a couple minutes ago, just now, he was saying that if talks fail, he might potentially use another military action against Iran, while the tensions of the spread of news been heating up massively as well too. So we're going to see how that plays out. But in the meantime, definitely tensions are still there, even though they had progress of talks. And then you still got tension between Iran and Israel. Tensions are still there. This is right things to come. Luke 21 verse 10. And say he unto them, nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. Right? So nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, which is only going to continue to increase. So this was just a quick sit down lesson of the prophecy updates as of July 27, 2026 on this Monday morning. So with that, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Wakam Kadash, and the Heavenly Father, that you name is Yahweh, and his only God, Son, Ba'ashem. In the name of Hamashiach, Yahushua, those that you name is an ancient covenant Hebrew, of the lost person of the tongue. And I say, welcome to the elders and apostles, Wa'akim, Wa'akim. Until next time, I'm going to say, Shalom, and Shalom.